daddies, metal daddies, metal daddies, metal daddies.
Welcome back to another episode with us here at Death Metal
Hi.
Daddies. My name is
Hello.
Jeff,
I'm Sai Sai.
and today we're going to be talking about some metal news.
Metal news.
What? Oh,
Yeah. Oh shit.
just crosshairs.
Actually, I just got some news across my feed. I don't know.
Oh, what happened?
Have you been
This
hearing
just
about
in,
this?
breaking?
Ish. It's from Ground News. But this is breaking news that they just posted. They're not reporters themselves. It's an aggregate site, so if they see that there's people reporting on stuff, they get everyone who's reporting on that topic and put it all together in like an AI generated thing. But you can also at the bottom click on each individual source so you can get and also different views. So it'll say this person's left leaning, this person's right leaning, this person's highly factual, mixed factuality, low factuality. They're from here. So they try to keep the news as transparent as possible. Check out Ground
Okay.
News. Not our sponsor, wish, but yeah, they just sent me a thing. I don't know if you're following the New York mayor thing. Uh, Andrew Cuomo has
Uh-uh.
conceded, and the guy that everyone was trying to, it seems to that people were trying to make seem bad, is actually now going to be the Democrat front runner for a New York mayor election.
Oh shit. Damn.
Uh,
Okay, so Cuomo was just a mayor or a
he
senator?
he he was a mayor. I think want to
Oh.
say he was a mayor. He got all that sexual allegation stuff a couple years ago.
Oh yeah.
Stepped
Okay,
down.
that guy.
He now has like this television show with him and Bill O'Reilly for some
Oh
fucking
no.
reason. Um, and then now I guess he's going back. But so everyone on the Democrats like, no, we don't fucking want Cuomo. Don't put him there. And he's like, no, I'm gonna do it. And but the big thing I've been seeing was there was like a New York, the Democrats, for electorates, they had this whole giant debate thing. Like there was like 10 of them. Like, remember back in 2016 when there was like 20 Republican, people going against each other, Jeb Bush, Marco Rubio, and all that. It was like that, but for
Yeah.
these New York City mayors from Democrats.
Okay.
The question was, uh, it's a tradition for the New York mayor to visit somewhere else as a representative of New York, and it's usually a pretty big deal. What would be the first place you would visit as if you were elected New York mayor? Someone said like my ancestors' home country of like Mexico or Guatemala or something. Like, okay, whatever, cool. Uh, got to like two people. Then it was Andrew Cuomo's turn, and he said, Israel, we got to support them. We got to stay on a strong thing, yada, yada, yada. And as of as Americans, we got to stand with them. And the moderator's like, ooh, good one, good one. And then literally every single person after him started saying Israel. And
Oh
then
my gosh.
it got to this guy. What was his name? Zoran Mamdani. And they asked him, "Was like, where would you go for your first mayoral visit?" And he was the very last guy, and he's like, well, here's the thing. I am running for New York mayor, and I represent my people. I don't want to visit somewhere else. I want to stay here and figure out what's going on with my people and let them know I'm here for them." And the moderators are like, So you don't support Israel? They started grilling him on it.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
And then they
What
even
the
asked him,
hell?
was like, do you believe Israel has a right to exist? And they started grilling this dude.
What the hell? Damn, he just got thrown under the bus and backed over. Damn. Who was the guy in New York that changed his name a couple times and did like a dance video to boost up the people's morale during the pandemic or some shit?
I didn't hear about this. Was that Cuomo?
Yeah,
Because I
he's
feel like
changed his name
Cuomo's time would have been
it
around then.
might have been.
Or
It
George
might have been.
Santos.
I just damn, I don't know. I can't even remember the dude's name, but I just remember it's pretty fucking humorous. But yeah. Yeah, it was just crazy. There's just some crazy ass videos that came out of that thing. But sorry, I got totally sidetracked. But yeah, it just seems like I don't know. New York just seems like a big shit show in
Yeah.
shithole, quite frankly. I
I've
don't
never
know.
been. I would like to go because I mean, no matter what, it is still like the largest city in America, and it does have everything. I would want to at least experience that.
Yeah.
Just, but I don't want to bring my kids. Maybe when Annie's like 16 or
Yeah.
17, but not right now. Absolutely not. I can't
Yeah.
trust Jensen with a firecracker. I can't trust taking him to New York City.
Well, I remember seeing on the news, like how they couldn't even like keep up with their trash, and that there's just streets that are just filled sidewalks with trash and shit. I don't know if that's still going on, but
I could see
I
it being a
could be thinking of like
possibility.
pandemic era news too. I don't know.
I can see it being a possibility simply because of the traffic. Because I was talking to when I went to Louisiana for like JRTC, we had units from all over the country, and one was from New York City, and they were talking to us, and she was saying like on her way to work, we were asking her when she finds time to read all these books. She goes, "Oh, I do it on my drive to work." It's like, what do you mean you do it on your drive to work? How do you drive? It's
Wow.
like, do you not know how New York traffic is? Like my work is like 2 or 3 miles away, so I'm in traffic for like 3 hours or something like that, just sitting there reading.
Holy shit. That's crazy. You kind of have to be like a little nutty to choose to take a car 2 to 3 miles away. I mean, I assume everyone else walks. That's probably the problem. That's why the traffic is so bad, is because you have these herds of people crossing streets all the time, and then it's just a line of cars trying to get places, and it's like,
Hmm.
and people are walking. It's just like, I don't know, everyone's at a loss almost, even though they're so close to their work.
Yeah, I imagine no matter what, when I imagine New York City, all I imagine is just a sea of horns honking, everyone cussing each other
Yeah.
out, and usually in like different accents. It's always typically an Italian accent when I imagine people cussing each other out in New York City.
Yeah.
I watch we are
Yeah.
going.
Yeah. Then you can just cue the Godfather music. I don't know.
Yeah, metal
That's the
news.
vibe I get. Yeah. 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 Anyways,
We went off on a
just some
tangent.
real relevant shit here.
My bad. Uh, I did save a bit of metal news. Um, let me pull it up. It's not really relevant to me and you because they're not coming anywhere near us. But there's two that was announced. Oh wait, this is the one that
Oh
is
shit.
relevant to us. This one is coming to us. So this is a tour featuring Pig's Blood is the opener band. Then the big bands is Master and Sinister, old school death metal bands from like back in the early 90s. Um, Not super familiar with them, kind
Okay.
of more familiar with Sinister, but even then very vaguely. Um, but yeah, they're coming to St. Louis September 21st. So yeah, some old school death metal from some old heads and Master and Sinister. I want to say Masters. I want to say they're a pretty big band that like influenced some of the early grindcore. I might be wrong. I'm thinking back to my Choosing Death metal book because I think I want to say it's that band. But yeah, check that out if you're in the area around that time. Want to If you're not familiar with them, go check them out. Let us know how it is. Um,
Hell yeah.
or if you are a huge fan, uh, you already know about this and go to those shows. Yeah.
Most def. I am looking forward to. I think I really kind of want to hit that Entheos show. Sean just beamed me a DM. Um, just basically highlighting the tour. I think it's at the Bottleneck. Yeah. Tickets on sale now for progressive death metal duo Entheos. Wonder why they call it a duo. It's weird. But anyways, on November 16th at the Granada.
Ooh.
Sweet. With support from Fallujah, the Zenith Passage, and Tracheotomy.
I feel like we have checked out Tracheotomy on this show, but I can't remember. But I feel like we
We
liked
got
them.
to have. Yeah.
I
I
feel like
think
we are
so.
more positive of them than the other otomies and ectomies.
I mean, I don't know, gutrectomy or gutterectomy. I don't know. They're one of my top ones. Organectomy is a really good one
Mhm.
too, but I want to say this otomy is pretty good too, tracheotomy.
I'm trying to see if these. No, I don't. I don't know because it looks like last thing was an EP, and we might have July 19th, 2024.
Oh yeah, it would have been last summer. Surely we
If it was on a radar, though, is
hope,
the only thing. I don't
yeah,
know.
right. Hopefully we didn't shit on it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'm gonna look into the future real quick. November 16th is on a Sunday.
Somewhat perfect.
Yeah,
Have
could
all
be.
day to get up there, maybe and rest, so that way you can still go to work the next day if you want to.
Yeah.
Also, I realized Kansas City is closer to me than St. Louis. Only by about like 30 minutes to an hour, but still, Kansas City is a lot better to get to.
Hmm. You know what's weird is my Google Calendar says that November 4th of this year is election day.
Huh?
That's weird.
Is it maybe local elections? Do we
Oh,
maybe have those kind of elections every year?
I
Possibly.
don't know. I don't know. Yeah, do city councils and shit do that every year, or like the aldermen and stuff? You know what I mean?
Maybe it is like an alternating
Aldermans.
thing. I don't know
I
about
don't
the
know.
aldermans, but I want to because we already have the other Senate and representatives and the midterms in like 2 years. But I do want to say there's other elections like in between those as well. So possibly.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, looks possible for sure. I think that'd be quite sick.
Yeah. But also at this moment, Devourment and Carnifex are playing in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh, right now, as we speak.
Yes. Yes, tonight.
Wow. Damn. Bet that's brutal.
It's okay. I'm fine. Because you know why? Because also, other
Why?
news I forgot. It's my anniversary.
Oh.
So,
Oh, happy anniversary.
thank you.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you chose to talk to me?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's our
Uh,
anniversary. I mean, we spent all day together. And yeah,
hell yeah, dude. Well, congrats, man.
thank you. Yeah, that's the whole reason why I didn't go tonight. I really wanted to go, but it's one of those things like I can't do that.
Yeah,
What
yeah.
what
Couldn't
kind of a
come,
husband am I?
huh? Yeah. You got the kids, right?
Also, just getting back the day before after not seeing her
Yeah.
for a week. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How was Montana? Pretty cool.
She wants to go again. She even sent me
I
a
think it'd be
video
a
while she was
badass to
there.
go.
She saw how is she describes it, almost sounds like Colorado, just less people.
Mm.
They went to some national park. I think it was
You guys
Glacier.
watching Yellowstone?
I've tried. She does. She's all cut up on it and stuff. I have not.
Yeah.
But I want to. That's in Montana, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. She went to Glacier National Park and she sent me a
Oh,
couple
sweet.
pictures. Some black bear was coming in their area. I got
Oh
worried. She
shit.
was she was taking pictures, so apparently everything was fine.
My
But
gosh.
apparently there's a lot more wildlife there than what we saw in Colorado.
Damn. That's crazy. That would be awesome to go see. I've heard great things about that place.
It looked beautiful. She showed me some flowing river. Seems so peaceful and nice up there.
That's awesome. Oh
Seems like
yeah.
a less busy Colorado, which would be nice.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Montana doesn't have the Denver Broncos, so I don't know if I would ever want to move there instead of Colorado. Just
Yeah,
saying.
they got a bunch of agriculture and shit and wildlife, I guess. That's about it.
Yeah. Wildlife would be
No
cool. I don't really
teams.
care about the agriculture part. Not really my thing. Except chickens, if you want to call
Man, they
that
should have totally
agriculture.
capitalized. They should have totally capitalized on the name though, like the Yellowstone geysers.
Yeah. Is that where Yellowstone National Park, or where is Yellowstone National Park?
Montana. It spans 3 states, I think.
Oh, okay.
Montana, Wyoming, and Utah. Is that right?
Hmm.
So I think it goes a little bit south. Let me double check. I got a computer right here. I'm just gonna lag up this pod real quick. Okay. Yeah, it spans 3,468 miles, square miles. That's crazy.
Wow.
Northwest corner of Wyoming, small portions extending into Montana and Idaho, not Utah.
Okay.
Sorry. But
I was
yeah.
wondering because I felt like Utah was pretty south.
Yeah, I'm not really good on those states. Kind of just throw them all in a pot.
Yeah. That's all I got from Ellis. Do you have anything else metal news wise? Otherwise, we can move on
Metal
to.
news. Hang on, let me check the Insta because I know I send you some stuff on the Instagram too. Um, oh yeah, did you see that video of David Gunn talking about the lyrics for their music?
Oh yeah, he pretty much does it Lil Wayne style and doesn't write it down. He just comes out
Doesn't
and says
write
it.
lyrics. He just goes and records.
I don't know
Like,
how
what?
much I believe that because there's got to be something, especially with like songs like Vendetta,
Dude, he
where he has
looks
that.
dead serious when he says it. It's crazy though.
But like that one part in Vendetta where he has like he's using a lot of like complex words and like back to back really quickly. Like what is
Yeah.
the phyllotaxis, immunic cytofaxis, space and time flow through me and I don't grow old. Like I have a hard
Oh,
time believing he didn't write any of that down.
or yeah, no, that's Alpha and Omega, right?
That's on the song Vendetta.
Oh, is it?
Come on.
That's a badass song.
Here we go. This is the lyrics I'm having a hard time believing that he didn't write down. And I know the Vedas and the universe is holographic and there's collective consciousness and fractals and cymatics. I
Oh
know these
yeah,
things. I know I'm God in this land as a conscious being. I am the I am and I created everything. I see the
yeah.
form in us, the 0 point my entrainment. Vile attacks is pattern this universal disenchantment. All things pass through past and present, space and time. Fulfill me and I don't fold. I have 100,000 people screaming for my soul. I have a hard time believing he freestyled that.
That's pretty fucking nuts. Yeah. Yeah, it's like I don't know to what extent he's saying it's freestyle, but that's a pretty crazy statement. I guess I should explain what we're talking about, but it was on this Instagram channel, Rain Lord. I guess he did a podcast with this guy, Reyn Lord, Lord, or something. And it's just like a clip of him talking about it. And I know they're covering like the Rust Belt new metal. So I don't know if he's just talking about this album. It
Mm-hmm.
could be that. I could be taking it a little out of context, but he just seems so dead face serious that he didn't write the lyrics. I'm like, damn, dude. And there's a lot of fucking words in there. So
Mm-hmm.
that is crazy if that is true. But kind of hard to think this guy would be full of shit. Just,
Yeah.
I mean, he just seems like a very serious individual,
Yeah. Because I could see probably with Rust Belt new metal, but like I said, there's every now and then there's
Yeah.
some lyrics I have a hard time believing that he didn't have to like sit down and like write how this is gonna stack up. Like that, those lines specifically, I'm having a hard time
That is
believing. Like
crazy.
you
Yeah.
have to have
Right.
wrote that down.
Yeah, it definitely seems like there was a process there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because there's no way in like just regular conversation he just spit and I was like, yes, but have you ever thought about the vials and the attacks and the universe is holographic and we're fractal consciousness? It's like you're not talking like this.
Yeah. And
That's
fractals
not
and
coming to
cymatics.
you. This isn't coming to you in typical conversation.
It's crazy. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. You ready to move on to just some dad talk?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Get into that.
I had something because I feel like the metal news thing was
Hernia.
a little too short this week. Huh?
Hernia.
I didn't have a hernia,
Oh,
but
okay. I was just guessing.
no, no. So what? I had a lot of time, just me and the kids. A couple nights ago, like I've talked about before, the kids like to pick a record and listen to it. Uh,
Hmm.
one night Annie picked Metallica, and we started playing it. And I started talking about, for some reason, we were talking while I was playing. They weren't really paying attention, and I mentioned something about like, well, I have records that my dad gave me, and they're like, which ones? Like, oh, let me break them out. So I went and picked out Led Zeppelin 1 and 4, and also Black Sabbath Paranoid because that's what my dad got me.
Nice.
And I decided to show my kids Led Zeppelin's. Like, yeah, this is early metal-ish, you could say, like hard rock, like or very first instances of metal. Put it on, and the kids loved it. They were dancing, especially to like rock and roll song, rock and roll. Um, but Annie was saying a lot of zingers that was hurting me to my core. Um,
Uh,
she said it sounded when listening to rock and roll. She said it sounded like Elvis. Um, and then she hit me with this, like, was this because I was talking about how this came out when it came out? It's like older than me, and she's like, and then she asked me, she's like, so was this during or before the Trail of Tears, Daddy? And I asked her, I was like,
during.
well, I had asked her, I was like, you know, what the Trail of Tears are. Tears are. It's like, yeah. I was like, Annie, that happened 200 years ago. This is 1970. It's not that old. But
That's funny. That's hilarious.
then she asked, was this record the first time they realized they people could record music and sell it? No, it's not that old. Um, but then she hit me with this zinger, because she was dancing, she was loving it, rocking out to Led Zeppelin, and she says, "Daddy, I think I know what I want to do when I grow up." What's that, honey? I want to dance for money. People will come and pay to watch me dance.
Oh no.
Nothing,
That's
nothing
just
can
a nightmare.
prepare for you, for your 7-year old little girl to say, "I want to dance for money."
Uh, it just goes into like one of those Spider-Man movie cams where it just like it shows like the gray hairs just It's like breaking out through your skin on your head. It's just like, oh.
Instead of the little sticky things coming from his fingers, just little gray hairs start popping
Yeah,
up, and
yeah, curly, just it just shows your skin like flush red.
in that instant, everything changed in my life forever.
Yeah.
It was
Career.
I just had to because it's one of those things like you can't just squash it immediately because then it's going to be like, well, why do they not want me to do it? Why? Because then that's going to be attractive to them as well. I don't
Right.
want to encourage it because obviously that can lead to uh, stripping. Um, so it's one of those things. You just play it off like she didn't say it. She didn't say that. I'm fine. It's fine. I'm
Right,
fine. It's
right,
fine.
right. It's dancing. Yeah, no, it's dancing. Maybe, that's a good sign. Like, hey, dance classes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get you into this stuff. Yeah,
Yeah. And
that's
she's.
just that's the fatherhood mind rot for you. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's childlike innocence. Just
Yeah.
gotta. Just instantly is like your mind goes like no, no,
Yeah.
but
No, no.
it is just childlike
Yeah.
innocence.
Well, it's tough, man. I mean, it's a lot similar to Lux throwing on Pitbull hotel room service song, and it's just meet me at the hotel and we could have the bring two of your girlfriends. It's just like, oh my God, no. And she's just like in the dance, living there and just dancing to it. So instantly, I'm like, jeez. It's like, what do you do? Like, don't want to be the fun sucker. It's like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, we have listened to a lot of songs like that, and sometimes they'll sing it, but they don't ever seem to sing the parts that are the worst parts. Like Annie has heard "Sexy Red," and we'll play a song, and she only knows one word, it's one part, and it's the chorus. And that's the only part she says. Thank God, and thank God she doesn't know what Sexy Red is talking about, but it's the bow 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 bow. It's the which is supposed to be her booty cheeks slapping, but she
Oh,
doesn't
jeez.
because the very next line is look at that booty meat. Bow bow bow.
Oh no.
So
Oh
we'll
man.
listen to it, and then all of a sudden I'll hear Annie go, bow, 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 bow.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, it's like the girls, so they'll just kind of scan videos on YouTube, and I try to steer them in the right direction, but sometimes, they just kind of venture. But they picked up on Bruno Mars's "The Lazy Song," and most of the song's not bad. It's just today I don't feel like doing anything. That one, whatever.
Mhm.
And there's like one line in it that fortunately they haven't picked up, but it has been quiet in the room whenever he says it a couple times. But he's just like, meet a really nice girl, have some really nice sex, and she's gonna scream out, "This is great!" And I'm like, oh no. Every time it comes on, I'm just like, oh, watch it over, I'm like looking at the TV, looking at them, just like, do not process, do not process. Shit. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. You gotta have that perfect balance. It's just like, let's say you stop it and then it's like, how much are you saving? What are you preventing?
Mhm.
It's like I've met so many kids that they weren't allowed to watch the Harry Potter movies growing up because they were raised in a really, really religious house. Were you one of those?
I was one of those.
Yeah.
I wasn't
See, it's
allowed to
like one in
watch.
five.
There was a lot of things I was not allowed to watch. I was not allowed to watch Captain Planet, because something
Yeah.
about Gaia, which I guess is like a Native American god. Wasn't allowed to
Oh,
watch
wow.
Smurfs
Weird.
because Papa Smurf.
Smurfs?
Yeah, Papa Smurf dabbled in black magic, so that was a no for me. Cow and
Damn.
Chicken because they're obsessed with butts, and because the devil was just a character that no one just ever addressed. He was just there for some reason.
Wow. I don't even remember that one. Cow and chicken.
You
Oh
remember Cow
wow.
and Chicken? Or I Am
I don't think
Weasel?
so. Sounds familiar. Like they both kind of sound familiar, but I can't put a picture to them.
I Am Weasel with his Nemesis IR Baboon.
Hmm. I don't know. It's not ringing a bell.
I didn't get to watch it, so I can't really get into
Yeah.
the
Right.
dynamics
Yeah.
about it.
Right. Yeah. Fair enough. But yeah, it's just like I don't know. So I guess from your standpoint, my question is, do you think that it helped you at all, or do
No,
you think you could have seen those and been fine?
I could have seen those and been fine. And in fact, I think that has enough, especially with like the music I listen to, I think that was even more of a fire to love that kind of stuff and seek it out more.
True. Yeah. Right. It's like the opposite effect. You get told not to do something, just kind of makes you want to do it more.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
I think I've
So
told you
yeah,
about
man.
it. When I was 16, my parents went in my room and took all my CDs and posters and even a hoodie of mine.
What was that for again? How come? Why did they do that?
They just went in my room. I think they said they were in there to clean, but I think it was more to investigate what I was listening to. And I guess they
You're like,
saw
oh
like
shit.
it was when I was at school, so I just came home and found it. But apparently they saw some that had like warning labels on it. They saw some of the names of the bands or names of the albums, and then actually read some of the lyrics. So there's just like a huge sweep of like a bunch of my CDs, some posters, my Lamb of God hoodie, just taken. Sometimes it was just for the name of the band. They took My Chemical Romance CD, which
Oh wow.
nothing was wrong with the lyrics, but because of the name, it sounds like drugs. So that got taken.
Um,
That all got taken and put into a trash bag, and it was put in their closet, and I could not have it back till I turned 18. Uh,
yeah.
so that was again more fuel on the fire to
You're
it's
like,
not a
I will show
phase. It's
you.
not a phase. Fuck
This is
this.
permanent.
This is who I
Yeah.
am.
I was so ready to get eyebrows pierced at 18 just because I was told I couldn't. I was like, oh, I'm fucking piercing them. I didn't do the eyebrows, but I did do the snake bites for a while. And then I was like, all right, yeah, I'm tired of this clingy shit in my mouth. This is dumb. But
But yeah, when it comes to kids and that kind of stuff, I do think that kind of more I wouldn't say just like let them do whatever, but I would say like put more things in context. Like for Annie and our kids, um, like cursing, for example, we tell them they're allowed to curse as long as it's not in public and it's just us. Um, but they don't really curse that often. I haven't can't think of the last time I've heard Annie curse. Jensen will do it from time to time, usually when he's playing. Like some guy kicks another guy. Yeah, fuck that guy. Yeah, like he'll do that like really quickly.
oh
Uh,
gosh, that's awesome. That's
but
hilarious.
other than that, he won't really say anything else. And for Annie, I think the whole reason is because she understands she's allowed to, but it's not to kind of like looked good upon. And she's very into church now. So I think as a whole thing, like she doesn't want to be seen as that. It's not that her parents don't
Yeah.
let her, it's that she understands like the crowd and where she's at and stuff like that. So
Right. That's cool.
I think that's probably been the best approach we've had so far.
Yeah,
Although
no, that's good.
I think I might have embarrassed Annie a little bit because she had vacation Bible school last week, so I went to go pick her up. Not knowing I had to go inside, I thought I could just go in the parking lot and she would come outside with like a whole, like kind of like school, just kind of come on out. I pick her up, I
Yeah.
just stand by the car. No, I had to go inside.
Oh,
Um,
so you're just standing out in the parking lot, just kind of leaning on your car,
no,
or
I did at first, but
probably
then
looking like people were probably so sketched out. Like, oh my God, who's this guy?
well, I was getting looks, but no, I was just waiting in the car. I was like, I'm gonna have to go inside, aren't I? And because the issue is, I had just gotten this shirt that day, so I put it on.
Oh, oh man, abandon all hope, or what is it? Abandon all
Abandon
life.
all hope, or yeah, abandon all life. On the
Oh
sleeve,
man,
on the back,
nails, nails
nails
all down
written
your arm.
on the front, a wolf's head with some barbed wire, and then on the back, even worse, a huge ass picture of the album art, which is just people in black magic robes looks like they're summoning something from like some red rocks. Um,
Oh my gosh, perfect. Hell yeah.
so I did get a lot of looks. No one seemed to talk to me, which was fine. I wanted to get in and out. But of course, Annie wasn't easy to find. There was about a good 40 or 50 kids in this sanctuary.
Oh
All their parents like, oh,
jeez.
I'm gonna have to go down there and start looking.
Oh jeez. Damn. Awkward.
Yeah, holding a
Well,
baby.
yeah. Yeah, that's like I'm kind of self-conscious with my tattoos now, so like if we're out at like events, I'll just kind of hold Stella in this arm to just kind of cover it. And I'm just
Hmm.
like, all right. And she's like, I went down. I'm like, oh, it's okay. I went down. I'm like, fuck, okay. Like shit. Well, and that's the thing. It's like that was the question I was also going to ask is as a parent with tattoos, I don't know if you get this way, but as I've gotten older, I've definitely reconsidered some of mine. I'm like, I could cover this up or I could have not done that, but it's there. So it is what it is. But going forward, now you have these people to kind of teach how to go about this thing. And it's like, I've kind of developed a sense for she's like, I've heard Lux say, oh, I want tattoos like you. And she likes, putting on the fake ones and stuff, which I think that's fine. But I feel like as that gets older and she gets into teenage years, I'm gonna be like, no, absolutely not. Like, you don't understand because I just feel like it's so true. You don't really understand the concept of permanence, like when
Hmm.
you're just that young. You just think it's so fast and you know you're all about the looks, want to look cool, well, I mean, obviously I don't speak for everyone, but I think that there's just a big sense of fashion that comes with
Hmm.
those years of age and with some people, but it's just like that makes me nervous, but I don't know. What's your thoughts on that?
So for myself, I'm not too worried about and I think it also has to do with I think people we don't realize when we're young, our minds are going to change and we are going to change so much to where
Yeah.
something that you think is a permanent part of you isn't going to really be you anymore. So for example, my first tattoo is on my back, and it was for the band Oh Sleeper because I was super into like Christianity and Christian metal and stuff, and that's what the tattoo is. And it has some lyrics, which is all like Christian related. However, I'm gonna now that I'm older, I'm not a Christian anymore. So, so it doesn't the tattoo doesn't really mean anything to me anymore. It's just like, oh, it's my first tattoo. That's about it. And the band I don't think does anything anymore or hasn't done anything for years. So it's kind of irrelevant. But for me, I don't think of it, I don't regret getting it because for me, it's a permanent memory of my past or something what I was
Yeah,
into at that time. So for me,
it's a
I'm fine with
timepiece,
it. Get things you kind of regret a little bit, not something that's gonna like
right?
prevent your career, obviously. I'm not saying
Yeah,
like
dude.
at 18 get neck tattoos or face tattoo, but or get none getting eaten out on your hand or something like that. Be sensible
Right.
when it comes to
Yeah.
it. With the
Yeah.
kids,
Right.
though, I mean, I would probably tell my kids because they're kind of the same way. Danny has a lot more tattoos than me, but the kids see all these tattoos and they're like, "We want tattoos." Like, and I think our thing is more going to be like when you're 16 or not when you're 18. When you're 18, can get your first tattoo. Um, But I'm
Yeah.
also worried it's going to be one of those things to where if I do, kind of like with all the other stuff we were talking about, if we deter them too much, are they going to go crazy as soon as they are
Yeah.
able to go on their own and do it on their own? So I would just kind
Right.
of like, hey, and kind of explain like my tattoos, like, hey, realize there's going to be things in your life that your views and things are going to change. You are going to change. Your life is going to change. Just be sensible and think about what you actually want first.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. I remember I had like cosign like whenever it was below 18. It was in the years where you have to get a signature to get it done. And so my mom helped me get my first one at a younger teenage, but I don't know if it was like I want to say it was 16 or so. I think that's like legal limit, but I don't know anymore. But anyways, she signed, and I got this nautical star on my forearm was my first one. And I just remember like going to events and stuff, and you just have an uncle like look at it, and he's like, huh, and you hear like oh, good luck getting a job, or don't want to get them too low, get a job. And I just remember just feeling so like ticked off about it in my head, just being like,
Mhm.
ha ha ha. And it's like, fuck you, fucking asshole. I'll show you. But it's just like, it's funny to look back and think about how upset that would make me. And I'm just like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, it's just that teenager mindset, like
Mhm.
just being like, so you don't understand, but it's not that really I was being told like, huh, good luck getting a job. There's truth to it because even though, yeah, it's become more common, people that are covered in tattoos, they just get different looks, man. They still
Mhm.
do. I still look at a guy differently if he comes to my, table and he's my waiter at a restaurant, but he has face tats all over him and tattoos up and down his body. But, it's also my past of working in criminal justice and knowing that a lot of majority of those dudes have those things too. But, I get obviously with the individual, they all mean different things. So it's, I've kind of learned to move past it, but still society definitely looks at those individuals different. It's just fact. I mean, but
Yeah.
um, you know, I don't know. I still can't help but question it even, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So and
Yeah.
especially for employment, like if you want to make money, yeah, you're probably gonna have a little harder time if you're covered fucking head to toe in them. That's just
Mhm.
plain and simple.
Yeah, because I think no matter what, especially for face tattoos, no matter what, you can't. No, even if you are the most clean cut and most hygiene proficient person, no matter what, I feel like someone who doesn't have tattoos is gonna feel more clean cut than someone who is the same amount but has face tattoos or neck tattoos. It's just our perception and how we view it. And I don't think that is really ever going to change. And so when you have these jobs that do require like more of a clean cut or a professional look, no matter what, it's going to affect you in some kind of way. So we can say we're evolving as a society. And I do think we are, but when it comes to stuff like that, like no matter what, we can't say like we have that no matter what, and there'll always be that. Like
Yeah.
there's a difference here. It's like this, like someone who comes in clean shaven or someone who comes in with a beard, same credentials, but you're gonna automatically probably think the one who's more clean cut is probably more professional, even though you have zero reason to believe it. Just because they look more clean cut, you're gonna think they're more professional than the other one.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's just
it's
crazy.
it's just our perceptions, our
Yeah.
our unconscious bias.
Yeah. Deep dive.
Hmm. Yeah. Um,
I don't know. We kind of got off the rails in there. How did we even transition that whole thing?
so kids and deterring them from things.
Yeah, kids. Yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, we kind of had a basic concept around that, I guess. That's fair. Um,
But-
but yeah, yeah, man, keeping them steer clear is it's a hard road to navigate.
yeah.
You tell them not to eat the candy, they want to eat the candy. I mean,
Hmm.
it's like
Yeah.
fuck.
But with the candy, I feel like you have to actually get on to them about that because I've tried to be like do free reign with Jensen, but if I do that, he literally will only eat candy and will eat it
Yeah.
nonstop. So
Oh,
there
dude, it's
you
just
have
like
to.
if Stella is seen with a bag of candy, it's because someone's given it to her and she, knows how to work her system. She's got grandma, neighbor Richard, and it's just like, oh my gosh, dude. And I just see her with the bag. I'm like, all right, that's enough. You've had enough. And then she'll like literally grab a handful and I'm like, no. I'm just chomping a fucking mouthful of Swedish fish or Sour Patch Kids. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. And it's 2025, so like my modern brain's like, oh, yellow 5 or red 40, no. It's like shit. It's like I don't know. Trying to keep my sanity, dude. It's tough.
When you were younger, did you ever hear that? I don't know how true it was, but I remember there was like this whole like urban legend. Don't drink Mountain Dew because it has yellow 5 and it lowers your sperm count. And I remember thinking at 12, like, oh, I can't have that.
I never heard of that one. I always heard of Red Bull and Bull Sperm.
I did
Like
hear,
that
yeah, that Torin.
yeah, Taurin or something's made from bull sperm, and I it was a big rumor, but the rumors kind of like stayed verified for a couple years. It's like, no, yeah, it's bull sperm. I'm like, I don't care. Tastes great.
Yum yum yum.
Yeah, like I gave no fucks about what it would do to me in the future at that age. I was totally just captivated by taste.
Did you ever have the? I don't know if we've talked about it, but I feel like we have. Did you ever have the energy drink back in the day when energy drinks was like the first big boom? The energy drink called Dickens Cider.
No,
It was
no, I did not.
Dickens. It was Dickens, and then cider, and it was this energy drink. And it had like these like half naked like devil ladies on them. Um,
Of course.
that was like the goat that ever like the energy drink kids were like, you gotta go get Dickens Cider. It's the best energy drink out there. But apparently that actually legitimately had like horny goat weed in it.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
hence the name, and then also hence the half naked devil chicks on it.
Oh
It
my
was just a
gosh.
that time was
Kids
just
were getting wild,
lawless.
dude.
Yeah,
That's nuts. That didn't go around my school. That's
yep.
crazy.
Just sitting there in math class, have a little bit of horny goat weed in your system, like, oh,
Dude,
cool.
I was sitting in math class not needing that at all. I was worried about when the bell rang and I was gonna have to stand up. I was like, oh dude, how am I gonna shimmy this one? You
Just
have
put
to
your books
learn
in
that
front of it.
yeah, under the belt move, the under the belt tuck,
Oh, the elastic
that
Stanley.
the tuck up. Yeah, is that what it's called?
I think that's what one of my buddies called it. You tuck it into your waistband of your underwear. An elastic Stanley.
Uh, oh, that's great, man. No, I wish I knew that term. I pulled an Alaskan Stanley like daily, dude. It was always like end of day and then like mid morning range.
Hmm.
It's like fucking and always kind of simultaneously coming around nap time. It was something about, I'd be dozing off and then just kind of
I had
popping
that
up. And I'm
same
like,
issue
fuck,
too.
man.
Whenever you have like a nap or something, you wake up and it's like, fuck. Even if you're like just on the verge, but not quite at nap, then you're like, oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, geez, 5 minutes. It's just like, no, no.
Can't be morning wood at noon.
Yeah. Oh man. Good times. I'm sure that's still going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
You ready to move on to actually, you know what? That's it for us today. We'll see you next time where we will
Nope.
talk about Static X and their
Yeah.
album discography. Until
Oh,
then,
it's gonna be
Death
so
Metal
good.
Daddies. Out!
Metal Daddies.
I want to dance for money.